more than 50%.
Yeah, then you can basically like just go there and probably say, like, this is what I want, and that has to be done.
So it,
That
in
happens
a
a lot. Like, for
sense,
instance, Elon Musk
in a
is,
sense, it is like owning the company.
in a sense, like, when you have a lot of money in a bank, right?
Okay.
You do have a little bit of say. I mean, if you have like a lot of cash in a bank, I feel like you, to some extent, you have some power.
What is, tell me, fuck off. What is the difference of owner of a company and somebody who owns share of the company? What is the difference? You cannot be owner of a company and own no share. It's just so.
Yeah, I don't know who, owner who's the owner of a company.
I feel it is the person who owns the share.
Always.
Okay, maybe you can add it in the comment, right? Give him a kiss. So you can add it in the comment that, okay, Mesh says, if I have your stocks or share, right, as a share owner, I can sell it. I can get my money back whenever I want. By that,
I guess you're right. The shareholders of the company, you become the owner of the company.
so if I become the owner of the if I become the owner of the company, all right, this is my company. What do you mean I can sell the stock and the company has to pay me?
If you have like all of I guess the idea is, if you want to sell your shares,
like, okay,
is there anyone else who would want to buy it?
You say you are like the CEO of this car, and I bought 30% of this car, all right? And
okay, now the idea is that you want to sell it.
The price of the car goes down, and I decide to sell it, like at $8. Why are you responsible to selling it to me?
No, you're not responsible
paying
for that.
me for $8.
So the idea is that you have 30% of this car, for instance, right? And you want to sell it.
Okay.
What's the price that you want to sell it for?
Like $8.
$8, right? But if no one wants to buy that at that price, what happens? You'd have to lower the price.
Yes.
Lower the price. And eventually you'd have to sell it for $0.
Like somebody says,
and that's when you know that the car is worth nothing.
But that's because not true. No, that's not true, because at the beginning of a startup it worth nothing too, but it can,
because shares, when you sell your share, somebody else is buying that.
Who is the person who is buying it?
Another person, another individual.
Okay.
So that's the thing what I'm talking about. Like when I say it's about supply and demand, it's like, okay, so if there are more people wanting to buy the shares that you want to sell, the share value would go higher, right?
Yeah, but let's assume that the share is going down.
The share is going down, meaning that you want to sell, but there are not that many people wanting to buy it, or like they don't want to buy it at the price.
It doesn't mean that the company is in trouble. It doesn't mean, because every startup or every company at the beginning, nobody buys their share.
That's not true.
Like at the beginning, that you don't have much potential, obvious potential, right? People cannot see that.
Typically, like,
just the fact that people do not buy your share doesn't mean that you are in a bad situation. It just means that maybe people do not understand your value.
Well, I guess it depends on. I mean, if you have a company that no one's willing to pay anything to own it, I guess that's worth nothing, right? And then nobody would want to work for it, and because you wouldn't have any money.
Why should the okay, wait a second. Why should the company go bankrupt for that? Like, okay,
because how else would you operate if no one? If imagine you want to sell your shares, right, and no one is buying it.
But okay,
so there is no investment in the company.
No investment, but still, as a company, I can sell my products and gain money, and through that live my life.
I mean,
for example, nobody buys your fucking car, but you can still Uber it and like make money out of it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's a good point. Don't know.
All right, maybe it's the
it's the time.
It's time to give him a kiss and say him goodbye. Next time we will Do you promise to go and study?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Do you promise that too?
No, I just ask questions.